special forces agent in the army. Munitions, assassination, and kidnap. Is said to be one of the worst there is.
At the beginning of the movie, some cops are sitting outside a club, their mission to intercept a drug deal and arrest the man delivering the illegal package. Their target, a large man named Bear, soon arrives at the club where inside, dancer Hyo-jung is entertaining the crowd. Bear enters and passes the package to a waiter who heads to the locker room, but while there, Hyo-jung knocks him unconscious with a taser and steals the package. Inside the club, Bear starts to leave when the cops try intercepting him, but he throws them around easily with his brute strength. This continues until Detective Kim Chigon steps up to face him and takes him down in one move.
Don't worry.
Despite this, the cops have lost the package. Meanwhile, Hyo-jung and her boyfriend are celebrating their heist. We then meet the reclusive pawnshop owner Tae-sik, who purchases some flowers on his way home. He has just one friend, a small girl named Somi, who lives in his apartment building but spends most of her time around him.
I think I should pull it, but I'm scared it'll hurt. I'm too old to lose a tooth.
She has come to pawn her MP3 player for some cash, but she sees that he has bought sausages and eventually persuades Tae-sik to allow her to join him for dinner. She tells him people think he is a gangster or a pervert, but she herself doesn't think he's a bad guy. Somi's mother then comes calling for her, and she turns out to be Hyo-jung, demanding that Tae-sik show her inside his apartment. While Somi hides, Tae-sik uses his foot to push her bowl of rice off the table before opening the door to show Hyo-jung he is alone. She pawns a camera and its bag, accusing him of luring Somi, but in a surprising turn starts hitting on Tae-sik, calling him cute, though Tae-sik ignores her until she leaves. Inside, Somi finds the flowers he purchased, but he angrily snatches them from her, warning her not to touch his things. It turns out the missing drugs belong to drug lord Oh Myung-gyu, and he scolds his subordinate Man-seok brutally for losing his product, which was to be delivered to his Chinese buyers. He gives Man-seok 3 days to retrieve his product or promises to donate Man-seok and his brother Jong-seok to the organ trade. Hyo-jung's boyfriend is pissed as she is keeping all the product for herself. He reminds her of their deal and gives her a day to hand over his share, but she threatens to sell it all and run away. The boyfriend angrily leaves, giving Somi a piece of his mind on his way out. Hyo-jung then sends Somi outside to play like always while she gets high inside the apartment. Tae-sik prepares a suit, as tomorrow is a big day. Somi asks him to spend the night as Hyo-jung has some male friends over. People call Tae-sik the pawnshop ghost, but her nickname is Garbage, as her mother kicked a garbage can after learning she was pregnant. The next morning, Somi has already left. Tae-sik notices that she has drawn on his nail and smiles gently. Later, Tae-sik puts on his suit and heads into town, listening to Somi's MP3 player. His journey takes him to the memorial of his wife and daughter, and memories rush back to him of her smiling face. He heads back into town where he notices a woman scolding Somi for stealing her son's bag, but she swears she did not. The cops ask if her parents are nearby, and she notices Tae-sik and points to him, but Tae-sik walks away. Man-seok calls Jong-seok, revealing that his underling has located Hyo-jung. Tae-sik finds Somi, warning her that she shouldn't steal, but she just grabs something from the store and leaves. Tae-sik tries to pay for it, but the storekeeper suggests that he try spending more time with her as she needs a father. Tae-sik ensures Somi gets home safe. She angrily takes back her MP3 and hands him her lucky card as she doesn't have cash. With tears in her eyes, she thinks she is an embarrassment, which is why he ignored her. She is used to the harsh treatment from her mother, but she didn't expect Tae-sik to treat her the same. She cannot hate him, though, as he is the only friend that she has. Soon, Somi returns home, only to see Hyo-jung being tortured by Jong-seok using a blow-dryer, while Jong-seok's bodyguard Ramrawan covers her eyes. Tae-sik's home has been broken into, and inside, gangsters Duchi and Bear hold him at knife point. Tae-sik hands over his wallet, but then disarms them with lightning reflexes. Bear steps forward, but is defeated so fast Duchi has to call Jong-suk, wondering if they have the right man. When Ramrowan heads up to check things out, he confirms that Bear is indeed laid out. He hands the cell to Tae-sik, who tells Jong-seok that he is mistaken and won't call the cops if they leave. Jong-seok refuses and demands he hand over the camera bag, but Tae-sik wants payment for his property. Jong-seok laughs at him, then reveals he has Somi and an unconscious Heo-jong in his car, wondering if he's willing to let them die. Tae-sik hands over the bag instantly, and the gangsters check the product. Bear starts to wake, but Ramrowan shoots him dead before leaving the cell phone behind. Tae-sik grabs the cell phone and chases after Jong-seok's car, but it soon pulls away. Jong-seok scolds Duchi for messing up, but he has never seen anyone move that fast before. Ramrowan notes that Tae-sik didn't flinch when he killed Bear, but Jong-seok doesn't see the importance of all this. Tae-sik tries calling the cops, but they don't believe his story, and he sits alone, lost as to what to do. He soon gets a phone call and is directed to take a car waiting for him to a certain location while being watched by Mansik and Jong-seok. Tae-sik arrives at the location and is instructed to remove a key from the glove box. He then heads down into a nearby subway where he grabs a package from a marked locker. The man on the line turns out to be Jong-seok, who instructs him to deliver the package to Myung-gyu at 6. Once he does this, they will hand over Somi. Inside the package, Tae-sik finds a bundle of drugs and realizes what he's being asked to do. The cops soon get a tip-off about a deal going down. Tae-sik arrives at Myung-gyu's location and hides a knife in his sock before he's escorted to meet the boss himself, who greets Tae-sik warmly and even brings out tea, but Tae-sik stays on guard and skeptical of them. Meanwhile, a convoy of cops is heading their way. Tae-sik gets straight to the point and hands over the drugs, demanding that he hand over Heo-jong and Somi. But Myung-gyu was not expecting this, and his men restrain Tae-sik. Suddenly, Mansuk calls, revealing he set this entire thing up as he is tired of Myung-gyu bossing him around. Myung-gyu then throws the drugs into Tae-sik's face, then orders his men to throw him to the cops who have just arrived at the location. The men knock Tae-sik unconscious and throw him from the building onto some netting. He wakes soon after to see Myung-gyu trying to escape in his car. Tae-sik jumps from the netting, gets into another car, and manages to cut Myung-gyu off, causing him to crash. He manages to escape as the cops close in, but as Tae-sik goes after him, he pauses at the site in his trunk. There he sees Heo-jung dead, her organs missing, and the cops throw him into cuffs. Tae-sik is thrown in jail, and the cops start running a background check on him. Soon, Detective Chigon learns that Tae-sik was born in Seoul, but a large part of his background is missing. Meanwhile, Chigon and his cops are scouring Heo-jung's apartment for evidence and find a receipt to Tae-sik's pawnshop. At the station, the cops are pinning Heo-jung's murder on him, demanding he talk. The cops soon learn that there is a lock on his record and plan to call in Chigon about it. While sitting there quietly, Tae-sik notices the lucky card that Somi gave to him, realizing he is wasting time. The cops soon serve him a meal, and Tae-sik gets a cop to unlock his cuffs. Chigon gets to Tae-sik's pawnshop, where they find Bear's dead body. He calls the station, but a timid man answers, revealing the cop is knocked out cold. Meanwhile, Heo-jung's boyfriend leaves the store when he encounters an old woman who asks him to check a nearby car to see if her son has arrived. He decides to help the old woman out, but when he gets to the van, men throw him inside. Another van then throws Somi at her feet. She asks for her mother, and the woman offers to take her and leads her into a building. The woman claims her mother's waiting in the attic but locks Somi inside as she enters. Inside the room, Somi sees other kids her age staring back at her. Tae-sik has escaped the station. The cops review the security footage and see him take out almost the entire station in under 10 minutes. They then learn that the lock on Tae-sik's file is from military intelligence, so they send a phishing email to get the details they need. Mansuk and Jong-seok have Heo-jung's boyfriend tied up and begging for his life. Jong-seok suspects that he and Tae-sik are working together and demands to know who he is, but the man knows nothing. Mansuk then kills the man with an axe to the head.
Don't kill me!
They learn that Myung-gyu has escaped, but Jong-seok has sent Ramrowan to take care of it. We then see Ram Rowan standing over a pleading Myung-gyu, while his men lay dead around them. He offers Ram Rowan everything for his life, but Ram Rowan just kills him. The cops soon get the information they need on Tae-sik, but have to call a meeting with what they've found. Turns out Tae-sik is a Black Ops agent in the South Korean Army intelligence, specializing in assassinations. He retired from service after his pregnant wife was killed by an assassin, and he was shot and left for dead. Meanwhile, Tae-sik tracks down the arms dealer that sold the burner phone Jong-suk used and demands to know who he sold it to. The dealer refuses, and when one of his men pulls a knife, Tae-sik takes out the entire room with lethal precision. The dealer then willingly hands over Jong-suk's information. Jong-suk is at his club when Duchi gets a call setting up a deal, but it is the dealer who is on his way with Tae-sik. They soon arrive at the club, but Chigon gets his location and is heading his way. Tae-sik enters the club and is inside an elevator when Man-seok also enters. Tae-sik doesn't recognize him, so Man-seok calls Jong-suk, speaking in code, telling him they need to leave. Meanwhile, the dealer has located Duchi in the bathroom when Tae-sik comes barging in. Duchi pulls a knife, but Tae-sik makes him stab himself in the shoulder, demanding Somi's whereabouts. He claims only Man-seok knows, so Tae-sik is leading him out when Ram Rowan opens fire, killing Duchi. Tae-sik disappears, so he starts shooting the stalls. Tae-sik then attacks and disarms him. The two begin to fight, trading some heavy blows. Ram Rowan manages to get to his gun and lets off shots at Tae-sik, who escapes and responds by throwing an axe. And Ram Rowan escapes back into the crowded dance floor. The two come face to face on the dance floor, Ram Rowan reaching for a blade and Tae-sik grasping an axe. Man-seok then shows up beside Ram Rowan, but upon seeing Chigon and the cops, he drops a cell phone at his feet before leaving. By the time he gets outside, he sees Jong-suk and Man-seok leaving in a car, motioning for Tae-sik to call. Tae-sik starts chasing after the car, but it turns out he was shot by Ram Rowan. He takes a nearby car and Chigon shoots out the back glass, but Tae-sik escapes. He is bleeding heavily. Man-seok calls, impressed by how he escaped the station. Tae-sik wonders why Hyo-jung had to die, but Man-seok tells him it's all business. As for Somi, he plans to harvest her corneas, then wait until she's old enough to take her organs. Enraged, Tae-sik warns him to always fear a man who has nothing left to lose. Tae-sik goes to see his old partner Dalseo, who removes the bullet from his body. As Tae-sik passes out from the pain, he sees another vision of his wife and remembers the first time he learned that she was pregnant. That day, Tae-sik left her inside the car to grab something from a store, but before he could get back to the car, a truck plowed into it, killing his wife. The assassin then shot Tae-sik multiple times before he was killed by Tae-sik's partners who were tracking the assassin. In the present, Tae-sik recovers and wants a gun right away, but Dalseo urges him to rest as he is running a fever. Tae-sik is soon strong enough to move around, and Dalseo urges him not to go through with whatever he is planning as he was almost killed. But Tae-sik tells him about Somi and that he cannot stop until he finds her. Tae-sik cuts his hair, revealing the man he tried to bury so many years ago, and readies himself, grabbing a gun that Dalseo has gotten for him. He contacts the dealer, but he is in police custody, and Chigon answers. He warns that he will catch Tae-sik, but learns he is searching for the missing girl Somi, and reveals she is still alive and was used to draw money near a train station. He knows her location, but wants to know what is going on. Tae-sik explains that Man-seok and Jong-seok tried setting him up, and they are the ones that killed Hyo-jung before hanging up. Somi is having dinner with the other kidnapped kids. The old woman brings out a girl, revealing she will be going on a trip and has the kids tell her goodbye, and the girl thanks Somi for painting her nails. Watching the girls is Ram Rowan, and Somi notices his wound and gives him a band-aid, wondering if she'll see her mother again if she is good, and this seems to trouble Ram Rowan. Chigon tracks down one of Man-seok's lackeys trying to pass as crippled. They take him into custody and show him photos of Somi, wondering if she was trafficked, but the man reveals she is being used as an aunt, a runner for the mafia. Tae-sik starts following one of these kids and sees him enter a gaming arcade. Soon, a new runner is sent out and Tae-sik follows him, but cops catch on to Tae-sik, forcing him to flee. He quickly runs into a building to see the runner getting into a van. The cops corner Tae-sik, so without a thought, he jumps through the window, then steals a cab to follow the van. He tracks the van down to a seemingly abandoned building, and inside he sees fresh footprints leading to a secret door. He enters and descends into the basement of the building, which is being used as a drug lab, and the runners are being used as workers there, overseen by Jong-suk. One of the kids ends up passing out from the fumes, but he just has her taken away and orders the others back to work. He continues looking around and stumbles upon a room that looks like an operating theater, and the bodies of their victims, including Myung-gyu, all having their organs taken. In another room, a man prepares to sedate another victim when Tae-sik appears behind him. Tae-sik motions for the child to get away before shooting the man dead. Jong-suk comes to investigate when the man beside him is shot and killed, and he is shot in the leg trying to escape. Tae-sik starts beating him brutally. Tae-sik then calls Man-seok while having Jong-suk tied to a chair and shooting him with a nail gun so Man-seok can hear his screams. Tae-sik demands that Somi be brought to him within the hour, but Man-seok threatens to kill Tae-sik. He then sends a message to Ramrowan to rip Somi's eyes out. Tae-sik rigs the entire basement to blow. He confronts Jong-suk for the cruelty they have put the kids through just to end them and sell their organs. Jong-suk thinks it's a win-win since their parents don't want them, and they cost a lot of money, but Tae-sik tells him he should have used his last moment to apologize to them. Jong-suk warns that if he dies, he'll never see Somi, but even if that is the case, Tae-sik plans to kill both brothers. Tae-sik then activates his trap and leaves, and in a few minutes, the entire basement blows up. Tae-sik then calls Ji-gon and hands one of the kids the cell phone so they can be found. Ramrowan has Somi in a van with another man who specializes in removing organs and reveals he held her mother's heart in his hands. Somi turns to Ramrowan, begging him to take her to her mother, but the surgeon soon sedates her and prepares his tools to remove her eyes. Tae-sik tracks Man-seok down to his condominium, where he has his gang waiting, and they think he is crazy for coming into their base alone. Man-seok demands his brother, but Tae-sik wants to see Somi. Man-seok then shows Tae-sik a vial containing 2 eyes presumed to be Somi's. Tae-sik starts to tremble with anger and falls to his knees. Man-seok mocks him and demands his brother, but Tae-sik stands, warning that they will all die. He then pulls his gun in a flash and kills 2 men while the others run for cover. Ramrowan returns fire and the 2 trade bullets. Tae-sik is about to reload when the gangsters charge at him, drawing him into a bloody close-quarters fight with blades, but Tae-sik mauls them down like an angry beast. He gets slashed and stabbed a few times, but Tae-sik ensures no one gets up after he puts them down. He then goes to pick up the vial containing the eyes when Ramrowan shoots it. Meanwhile, Man-seok is gathering all his cash to leave as soon as possible. Ramrowan and Tae-sik face each other and they both pull blades. The fight is epic, swift strikes and parries, but Tae-sik is faster, more precise, and soon he pushes Ramrowan back, then brutally kills him with a blade to the heart. Man-seok and his last gangster get to his car, but the gangster is shot before he can get in. Man-seok tries to get away, but Tae-sik shoots his tire, causing him to crash. He then shoots out the rest of the tires as he walks down on Man-seok, who ironically goes to call the police. Tae-sik walks on top of the car and tries shooting through the moonroof, but it's bulletproof. He then goes to the windshield, presses his gun to the glass, and begins unloading until a hole forms in the glass, and with his last bullet, he kills Man-seok. Tae-sik has completed his quest for vengeance, but having lost Somi, he falls to his knees. He prepares to end himself, having nothing left to live for when he hears Somi's voice. He thinks it's just a vision, until he sees Somi walking toward him. She knew he would come to save her and runs to Tae-sik, hugging him tightly. It turns out the eyes in the vial belonged to the surgeon after Ramrowan had killed him. Tae-sik surrenders himself to Ji-gon, who allows Somi to travel with him. On their way to the station, Tae-sik asks the cops to stop at their local convenience store, where he buys her school supplies. Outside, he tells her she will be on her own from now on, and the two hug one last time, and Tae-sik smiles for the first time in years.
Thanks for watching. If you had a good time, go ahead and hit that like button, drop a comment, and of course, subscribe for more recaps just like this. And hey, don't click away just yet. YouTube thinks you'll love one of these 2 videos popping up right here, so check them out next.